Hello and welcome again. This is the pond I spoke of. There seems to be a few people out here fishing, and then there's some other people walking around. Some days it's a lot quieter, but I have to accept public and people doing things. So I wanted to get a little bit closer. I thought about sitting on the other side of the table, but I figured I'd get up close. I have my tablet here, but with me being close, you probably can't see it as well. I'm gonna have a quick message. I've got several ideas. I'll get this tablet going here. But this is going to be on a particular subject. The first videos or so I mentioned cigarettes and alcohol. Everybody's got their own choice as to what to do. That has nothing to do with salvation. You have a choice for salvation to choose Jesus. I've said that, and that doesn't change. You don't have to do everything right, and quit smoking, quit drinking. That's not what I referred to in some other videos, although it might not have been clear that I'm just throwing everything out there saying you've got to do so much of this, when in truth what you have to do is choose Jesus. Now the cigarettes, that doesn't cause the problem. One of the stories I was telling, and it's not exactly true, it's exaggerated a little bit, but the story is how I know people similar to the situation. They have to get up from their desk, and building being no smoking building, have to put on a coat because it's cold outside, snowing, spitting rain, ice and everything else, and they have to go off to their smoking designated area to, sometimes their car, and they try to sit in a car where it's warm, but sometimes that's a long way out in the parking lot. You run out there, your 15-minute break is probably seconds to take a few puffs of a cigarette. There is the problem. That seems to be when you're getting into an addiction of the nicotine and everything like that. And then alcohol's the same way. It's all about moderation. There are some things that you do have to do in your life different if you want to continue living the healthy life that, and the Bible speaks of that. The body is a temple unto God. Keep it healthy. So there's some people that go and say, well, not only you're smoking is a problem to yourself, but the smoking you do is a threat to others. And thou shalt not kill. And that's taking it to an extreme, I think. The Bible, some of the translation kind of goes from, it didn't say thou shalt not kill, it says thou shalt not murder. Because we have had a discussion in years past of what about our military men who have been unfortunate to be in the situation where it's kill or be killed. And many people in the Bible went to war. It's translated out as thou shalt not kill, which is basically one of the 10 commandments, but the concept behind the written word is thou shalt not murder. And murder is different, because murder is without reason, without cause, taking the innocent life. Well, we can get into the difference of murder and what killing is, but I think most people out there can easily understand what murder is. We've had experience with that, and we understand the difference between murder, and we understand the difference between killing in a war situation. So what I wanted to do, though, is I wanted to move on to something of interest. Let's see, we are at 4 minutes. That's not too bad, I guess. I decided I'm going to do this supposedly in 4K if it works out. The river, I did that video in 4K. I want to do the new locations that have some scenery in 4K. In the future, I want to just maybe drop down to 1080 for the fact that most people run 1080, and they say even on a regular TV screen, most of us will never see the difference in the 4K. It takes up several more resources. It takes hours of more time to process it out, and you're here to see me and my word. And I understand you're here to see some scenery, so I want you to get a good, nice 4K view of the scenery. But at the same time, my message, I want in the future, if I return here and things, I want to just be in 1080, which is more than enough. I feel I've watched 1080. I had a man tell me, he said, on the cell phone is where most people are going to be watching. I think a lot of people are going to be listening. So anyway, what I want to discuss is the whole concept of the problem with alcohol and getting drunk. It's a some mornings you might wake up and you might be listening to this video because you've had a party last night and you can't remember what happened, and then they say the pictures come out the next moment, and all of a sudden you're like, I did that, there's dents in my car and things like that. So there's a big difference. People drank wine in the Bible, but it was in controlled situations, and it's okay. It was not in a greatness. The people overdrank because bad things happen. You can find that in the Bible too. The people inherently had bad attitude, bad thoughts to begin with, to do such things. And alcohol, I think, helps sometimes. But there are those who are pretty good people that just alcohol just ruins them. So I got ambulances in the background. There's always a medical or something being out in the country. Anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to have a quick discussion on the idea concept of what I do now. And what we do now is we work to say, I'm going to move forward. This is for the people who are listening to me right now that just don't know what to do. They're sick, they have a hangover, they have headaches, they just loud noises are getting to them. They don't remember what happened last night. So what we're going to do is, in support of saying that, okay, I understand that, people are going to be people. I'm not going to condemn anybody because, God puts it upon people's hearts to do what is right, and as time goes by, you will perhaps find your way to doing what is better for your life in God's guidance. And when you're young, it's just expected that you're going to do some things of alcohol and party, and it's just you can run forever. You've got energy, the excitement. So this is not the time to say, oh, I can't choose God, I'm too busy partying. You don't know where tomorrow is. You don't know where next hour is. You don't even know really where the next minute and the next second is. You can choose Jesus first. That's all you got to do. We call it saved in the biblical sense but I don't only think it's in the biblical sense. It's more in the Christian sense. Are you saved? Type of question. Well, saved from what? Well, you're saved from going to Hades and hell, or however different people refer to it. But now you've got a concept. You've got, I'm saved from going down so I can go up to heaven. But just to keep hearing somebody say, are you saved? Are you saved? Well, saved from what? Those words get kind of Christianity out of control continuously. They give their own lingo. It's like some professional out telling you, and they're like, oh, in layman terms, please tell me. All right, so now I'm going to look up this thing here on my tablet down here for those who, think that, I'm a person who's just going to say, oh no, you're going to hell for drinking. I'm going to say that that's your situation. I will say that you've got to stay out of the car. You can't judge yourself very much. I know people have one or two drinks and seem to do all right. But there's so many people that think they're okay and they're not. You get to drink and you've got to get a ride. And you generally need an Uber because the friends are there with you drinking too. If you're having a big party, something special, get a designated driver. many clubs used to give free sodas and things like that to support that. Plus, many times they'll get you a ride anyway for free. And there's organizations that reimburse if you say to the bartender, "Hey, I'm not feeling up to it. I'm sick." Somebody will generally have a fund that says I can get this done and get home. Because there's been so many people that don't make it home or that tear the car up. You worked hard for that car. You go out, you want to enjoy yourself, but the next day your car's banged up. You may hit someone else's car. There's so many things. Your insurance goes up. Drinking and driving it's just not okay. And I don't know how many people can tell you this over and over and over, and people still think, "Oh, I'm okay to drive. I'm okay to drive." I'm going to remind you that today that you don't need to do it. Just make the plan before you go. And I found out one time, I knew a lady who was going to court over drinking and driving. And I thought once, I said, I think that if a jury hears the case, that they will have some sympathy. And they will, understand that we all, as general public, have always drank something and maybe had an extra one or two and felt a little buzzed, but still felt okay to drive. Maybe the legal system is a little overzealous, and just maybe they were okay and stuff like that to drive. And I was informed that no, the attorney said no, don't ever think that you can get a trial by jury and have sympathy. He said you go to court and you hope for the least sentence, because they'll hang it to you as a judge, but as the jury, they will give you the worst sentence you could ever imagine, because everyone on that jury has somebody who's been injured or killed in a drunk driving. It's ridiculous to think that, but it's so horrible. It's just what it is. So the more people that stay off the road and stay alive, the better off you are. You're supposed to try to work on your future. These videos are to work on your future, to be saved today, choose Jesus, but at the same time, you get a future ahead of you. So anyway, but for those who have woke up in the morning and said, "I want to know what to do with my day," I drank too much last night. I have, let's see, I'm going to look up something here for the hangover. Hangover drink. Drink cure, they said here. Hangover drink cure. Let's see. How do you cure hangover? Let's see. Somewhere there's a recipe here. And we're looking this up together as always. How to cure hangover fast. Hangover cure, several effective home remedies supported by science. Let's look at that. This is actually in webmd.com. Let's see if I can. There we are. I don't know where my internet signal is, how it is out here, but I've got a little bit of a signal. It says if you've had a few too many drinks on a night out, you know what the next morning can bring. The nausea, headache, parched mouth, and fatigue are tell signs that you've got a serious hangover. Each of these symptoms stem from a different cause. Alcohol disrupts the sleep and leaves you groggy in the morning. Drinking widens your blood vessels, which can trigger headaches. Alcohol also irritates the lining of your stomach, leading to nausea and sometimes diarrhea. I'll tell you what, I can certainly put it to you. For almost as long as humans have had hangovers, we tried to cure them with remedies that were in the element from vitamin B to pickle juice. Some hangover treatments work better than others, but none is an actual cure. The only way to avoid a hangover is to limit how much you drink. Well, yeah, that's not going to work for most people when they're out partying and stuff like that. And if you find that hangovers are affecting your work, relationships, talk to your doctor about your drinking. You see, that's the thing I was referring to. This is just a WebMD. This is not Christian stuff, but this is just basically telling you normal stuff. That said, a few hangover remedies can bring you relief from here are a few things to try. Here's this water. A big glass of water might be the easiest hangover solution. Alcohol dehydrates you by increasing the amount of urine your kidneys make. You also lose fluid, and when you sweat, vomit, or have diarrhea after a night of binging, dehydration causes symptoms like dry mouth and ache. So it can go a lot more into it. There's something called a Korean pear juice. It's an old school remedy, hangover remedy. Research shows that drinking about 7.5 ounces helps lower the blood alcohol levels and makes your hangovers less intense. The catch is you need to drink it before you have alcohol. Drinking afterwards won't work. Let's see, I don't really see a recipe for that. It says you can find the Korean pear juice at your local supermarket. Doesn't hurt to try a glass before you go out drinking. I've heard the stuff about tomato juice and celery you always see in the TV and everything, but maybe that pear juice might be worth a try. I've hit my 15-minute mark, and I think with that we will end this video and let you catch up another video, and keep these things in mind. We'll see you hopefully on the next one. I've got some ideas for a couple more.